You mentioned the Hardys. I got beef with Matt Hardy.
as you should.
I like Matt. Yeah, Matt's always been kind. He's not the only person who says stuff like this. So it's not just Matt. It's just Matt happened to kind of be the most recent person to say it. And he's talking about, like, for aspiring wrestlers, watch Dominic and Cena, watch the Hardys and Team 3D, and this is the essence of pro wrestling: creating, maximizing emotional investment from your audience. That's what matters. And excelling in the art of pro wrestling, not star ratings or cage match reviews. Again, Matt's not the only person who said, like, all the old time people say this stuff, right? That was Bully's whole thing leading up to this, right?
Oh, 5-star match though, bro. It was a 5-star match. I tell you, everyone was on the feet. They loved every minute of it.
This is, I get what they're trying to say. I don't even fully disagree with what they're trying to say, because I do think too many people just try to do too many moves instead of having some type of an emotional connection with the audience. Like, I do agree with that. My issue is the examples that have been used here. The Hardys and Dudleys have a 20-year history and investment from the audience. What were Jeff and Matt and these guys doing when they were relative unknowns? Doing a bunch of cool moves that everybody attached to. Jeff was jumping off of anything he could find. They were going through tables. They were jumping off of ladders. They were doing really cool moves. John Cena has a 25-year investment with the audience, and it was in Boston, his hometown. Dominic, he's a 30-year pro at this point. These guys got time and equity with the audience that, yeah, the crowd's invested because they've been around for so long. The young guys can't get that investment immediately because the crowd doesn't know who they are. So they have to go out there and do some cool moves and do some flashier stuff. It's like, oh, I like this guy. I like what he's doing. I want to see more of him. And then as you get a little bit out of investment, then yeah, maybe you can start to slow down and start to work a different style. I think MVP does a much better job of of kind of explaining this to somebody like Will Ospreay. And Ospreay, by all accounts, has been pretty receptive to MVP's feedback. It's like, we know you're good. We know you can do all of this stuff, but you don't need to every single match. Save it for kind of the bigger moments, the bigger matches out there. And, just draw in the emotion for kind of the weekly stuff. And then the pay-per-view, sure, go out there and go all out. I just think it's it's a disingenuous argument to make of, like, hey, it's all about emotional investment. It's all about crowd interaction and everything. And the examples you're using are the biggest star of all time, John Cena, if not the biggest, certainly one of, and a tag team rivalry that has spanned 2 decades where one team calls themselves the greatest of all time and another team also has a very similar argument. Yeah, the crowd's invested to those guys. But to say aspiring wrestlers, this is what it's all about. Aspiring wrestlers can't do this. A person with one match can't get that investment. They got to do something else that stands out. And sometimes it is more, you need more of a character. Sometimes you just want to do cool moves, but they got to do something. They can't just, like, hey, the crowd's going to react a certain way because we got 20 years, 25 years of investment.
Yeah, I do find it very funny that the guys who spent their entire careers doing the too much are the ones now saying, like, you got to get them emotionally invested. That's how they got emotionally invested to you. You did the crazy shit. Do I agree that they should be doing this crazy shit all the time? No, but I do think time and a place, but I don't know, there's so many ways to quote unquote get over and get fans involved and invested in the work that you do. I do believe in time and a place because we talk about blood and guts, and one of the things that kind of hindered the story of blood and guts were some of the substitutions that had to be made due to injury. There were people who were supposed to be in the match that had to be replaced at the last minute for one reason or another. So that kind of takes away from being able to tell a fully coherent story. When that happens, I think that sucks. However, there are also people who can continually do this stuff and like pile driver finishes. Like it's how Darby Allin is over. Darby's a freak of nature to begin with. Like he knows how to take care of his body allegedly, so he's been fine and he continues to show up. He climbs a giant ass mountain and he's just like, yeah, it was fine, I guess. You saw a lot of dead people, but like I made it. But at the same time, you stay over because you are that crazy human being, which all wrestlers are inherently insane. But to the level of insanity that differs per wrestler. So no, I think that there's Matt's not wrong, but Matt also has the privilege of hindsight and a long career where he did all the things that these people are currently doing to get over, and he is the reason why a lot of them emulate his style because he got over. Not everyone is going to be the Stone Cold had to break his neck to get over and then change his style to the brawler. And he had a mouth on him that worked too. So there's no right way to do it, but you gotta know time and a place. That is my only concern when it comes to this, is that yes, if you are Will Ospreay, it will catch up to you. If you are Swerve, it will catch up to you. If you're anybody, it can catch up to you. It's all about how you're being booked at the time and how much you're able to give to your current scenario. It's it's the way the business has been for way too long at this point, where you got to just kill yourself to be the guy. And that's when they respect you, is when your body is mangled. And then when you got to go away, they're like, oh, he's just not the same now that he's back from his 10 brain surgeries that he had to go through just to survive the next 3 years. That's kind of the shitty nature of the business too.
Yeah. Like there's no right or wrong way to get over. And once you get over, it's all about how you continue to sustain that momentum. And, if possible, sometimes it's out of your control. It's the nature of wrestling, but sustaining that momentum and continuing to build off of that. But again, for aspiring pro wrestlers, it's not about star ratings and cage match ratings, everything. Like sometimes that's how people find these aspiring pro wrestlers. Honestly, like oh, he has a good star rating on Dave gave him a good star rating. Oh, Dave gave him, or Cage Match gave him a pretty high rating here. Maybe I should check that out. And then you build an audience through that. And then you can hopefully get some emotional investment. And then again, maybe you can slow down your style if you need to or if you want to. But it's just, hey, be over. Connect with the audience by being over and having 30 years of equity built up. Yeah, that's difficult. That's difficult for aspiring pro wrestlers.
Yeah, it's really about your positioning. It's really about, again, time and a place. Michael Oku, Man Like Doris, Leon Slater, these are people are talking about. These are wrestlers people are talking about because they bust their ass and they have those crazy matches. And as a result, they're getting recognized now because, like you said, star ratings are getting them noticed. People are talking about them because they see them at indie shows and they're like, I got to see them. You see them at Rev Pro, you see them at their home promotions. Now you start seeing Leon Slater in TNA. Michael Oku's done a bunch of shots with AEW and Ring of Honor. They get noticed, and you got to get noticed somehow. And doing the job well is a pretty good start.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's only over because of John Alba.
That is accurate. It's true. Yeah, it was him. There's plenty more over on Fightful Overbooked. Click that subscribe button. Tap that bell. Get your notifications. And while you're at it, like the videos. Interact with them. Say some stuff. We want to hear from you. While you're at it, join us every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, live for In the Weeds. You might like it.